We are joined this morning by Israeli Ambassador Arthur Lenk, who has also been summoned to the Department of International Relations to explain his country's actions. Ambassador, welcome to Newsroom.
Thanks for having me.
I want to start off with the latest reports this morning that you have met with the Department of International Relations.
Yeah, I did meet with him yesterday, but you know what? That's what I do all the time. That's what diplomats do, and why it's great that countries have relations so that they can talk to each other.
Now, could you please just put us in Israel's position on this matter?
Yeah. Over the last week, over 1,000 missiles have been aimed at Israel's cities. 1,000. It's amazing. People in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem and in Ashdod can't live normal lives. Every few minutes, an air raid siren goes off and they have to go into hiding, just like South Africa would do if it had a similar situation that a neighbor was attacking it. Israel has to protect its civilians.
I read an article earlier this week and you were also quoted as saying that the horrific desire for there to be a balance of pain, the imbalance in Hamas' death wish versus Israelis' life wish.
Well, it's sadly true. The Palestinians, our neighbors, they're not our enemies, they're our neighbors. They deserve better. The fact is that Hamas rockets are putting their own civilians in danger. They shoot them from homes, from schools, from near mosques. Nobody should do that. They need to be able to stop the rockets so that Palestinians, so that the citizens of Gaza can have a better life. The rockets have to stop.
Can you also just clarify us the reports on the South African ambassador apparently being recalled back to South Africa?
Yeah, that's not my understanding. My understanding that he's here on holiday and on leave, and it's summertime in Israel. But, obviously, you have to talk to the South African government about that.
Would you just take us back to the ceasefire negotiations with Egypt this week, where it started on Monday, where it is now? What is the situation there?
Well, it's pretty straightforward. Egypt came to the two sides and said, we think that there should be a ceasefire to stop the violence so that the people, both on the Israeli side and Hamas, on the Gazan side, can be protected. Israel immediately said yes. And Hamas said no. It's strange. They say that they're under attack, but they could stop the violence, and they chose not to. It's sad, actually.
Some Hamas, the groups, they talk about not meeting their demands. What are their demands? And what happened during these negotiations with regards to their demands?
Well, Hamas demands is that there's no state of Israel. They don't believe that there should be a two-state solution, the idea that Israelis and Palestinians should be neighbors. They think everything is theirs and we should all just leave and go somewhere else. Well, that's not going to happen. Israel is the one Jewish state. We have, obviously, also Muslims and Christian citizens that all live within our democracy, and we're not going anywhere. We believe that there should be peace and a two-state solution between Israelis and Palestinians, and we all deserve better. Hamas is holding their own people hostage. It's terrible. It's terrible. My neighbors deserve better.
What's your response to, on social media, has been a buzz this week, Israel being called an apartheid state?
Well, it's wrong. We're not. We're a democracy with a diverse citizenry, that everyone has rights. Different communities and minorities are all in parliament, and on our Supreme Court, there's no connection. But I am active on Facebook and on Twitter, and I'm happy to chat with anybody who wants to talk to me.
I do know you're quite active on social media, and we're going to be looking at some tweets just now. Just before that, I want to ask you, why then do you think this comparison is being made?
Well, the comparison is wrong. It's used as an epithet, as a mean word to just throw out there, but there's no comparison. It's not accurate, and I think that what it really does is it shows disrespect to the people here who fought in the struggle in South Africa and who made this country a better place, to misuse that word, to use it in a lesser way.
Then let's look at a couple of those tweets. I know we've got them. It's questions that came in through the night. I understand, yes, here we've got one of them. What are the Ambassador Lenk's view on Hamas' demands? They are, by any standards, reasonable demands. Do you agree? Well,
the demand that there should be no state of Israel. Well, you know what? Or the demand that we can't protect our own civilians. Any country has to protect its people. We don't want to hurt the Palestinian people. They're our neighbors. They deserve better. Hamas, it's interesting. Before that we targeted places that are sending missiles off to Israel, we send warnings to the civilians and tell them to get out of the way to be safe. And Hamas's media is telling them to stay. Why would you put your own people in danger?
We've got another one. Does the Israeli ambassador condone the killing of 4 Palestinian children playing on the beach?
No, it's a great tragedy. They got caught in crossfire, and it's awful. And I really regret it. It's a great tragedy. Any loss of life Palestinian or Israeli is a great tragedy, and that's not what we're looking for. We think our people deserve better.
I know we've got one more, but this is not a question, this is more a comment. Ambassador Lenk seems to blame Hamas for this entire conflict, which began pre-1948. Hamas only comes into the picture in 1987. On that note, can you just take us back a bit in history? I understand, is it 1948 or 1947 that the two-state...
Well, in 1947, the United Nations decided to offer the Arabs and the Jews two states in the historical land of Israel and historical Palestine. The Jews agreed, and the Arabs said no. It's a shame. It was a historical opportunity for Palestine to come into existence so long ago, in the 1940s. And I think that we have to find our way, firstly, to stop the rockets, and then a way back to dialogue so that there can be two states again, so that there could be a possibility for Palestinians to choose their own way, to live side by side in peace and security with Israelis who have that right too.
Now, there have been organizations and parties calling for your expulsion from the country and isolation of Israel. What is your response to that? And then just Israel's role in South Africa, what would that mean?
Well, firstly, the answer is I'm here talking to you this morning, and I'm going to continue talking to South Africans as long as I'm here in your beautiful country. I think, much more importantly than that, is we have lots in common. We have lots of shared needs and ways that we can help each other. Israel is an expert in agriculture, and in water use, and in technology, and in innovation. Those are all things that we can share with South Africa. And you know what? South Africa is a lesson to the world and to my region about how a problem that seemed impossible, seemed that it was insolvable, was solved. We can learn from that too.
Tomorrow we're celebrating International Nelson Mandela Day. How will you be celebrating?
Yeah, me and my team are all going to a youth center near Deep Sloot. And we're going to work there with kids, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be great.
Well, Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for this morning, but thank you very much.
Thanks, Katrina.
Now, let's just take a look at what you are saying on social media on this topic that's been trending the entire week. Please remember to send us your views at SABC Newsroom. We love your pictures, comments, opinions, anything can go. Many countries have equality for all ethnic and religious backgrounds. Why not one state? Hashtag Palestine, hashtag Israel, end apartheid. May Allah give strength to Sabir, to Palestinians. Gaza under attack and destroy this. So that has come in hashtag Israel. How many children must die? How many innocent civilians must die in Gaza before the international community will intervene? Pray for peace in Israel and Gaza. Children dead, families grieving, homes destroyed. We can't sleep easily tonight. Hashtag Free Palestine. Of course, these are all the social media trends this week. All across the globe, and the UN cannot see that the war crimes that Israel is guilty of. Where is the Security Council? Hashtag G8. Hamas, Israel, Taliban, all of the hashtags trending this morning, like the song said, don't be so reckless, throw down your guns.